Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. With us, Showtime President Steven Espinosa. How are you? Welcome back again to Barclays Center.
I'm thrilled to be back at Barclays Center. It's been more than 2 years. It's been too long. We're overdue to be back here.
I'm glad that all of us we are here. Finally, the event is going to happen. What can you tell us about this event, Gervonta Davis, R.Romero?
Look, this one's real simple. It's not real complicated. It's not. These are two guys who try to knock you out with virtually every punch they throw. Among the highest knockout rates in the division. We've got one of the title holders versus number one contender. There's not a lot of mystery in what's going to happen. I mean, these guys are going to. The bell's going to ring. These guys are going to just winging punches and trying to knock each other out. This is one of those where, I don't think you need the referee except to count, the knockout. This is going to be all action, no question.
All action. I mean, finally it's here, the event, and it's going to happen. What can you tell us about the lightweight division? I mean, we got Kambosos. Right now, he's the undisputed unified champion on that division, and we got Ryan and all these, boxers. Eventually, all of them, they want to face each other. What can you tell me about the lightweight division?
Well, it's been a little bit of a difficult division lately, because there have been so many, challenges. There were the problems with, Teofimo came with a big win, and then, had problems with, Triller, with his Triller deal, and there have been some injuries for Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney had a lot of off time, and now Lomachenko with Ukraine, it's a whole separate situation. So the reality is, Tank's been the busiest one, in the division, and that's been by design. Like, he's not going to, sit around waiting for this fight or that fight. He's going to continue building his career, and I think that served him well. But what fans don't often see is, the fights that don't get made. And after every fight, there are conversations. And sometimes they go further than other times about locking down one of those big mega fights in the division. So, the reality when those don't happen, I mean, we saw it happen kind of publicly with Jamal Charlo and Munguia. When things don't happen, then look, you can only fight who's willing to fight you. So at the end of it, if the deal can't be made, then let's find the next best fighter. And that's what Tank's been doing. Still chasing that big fight, still optimistic we'll get one in the fall. But in the meantime, he's not waiting on anybody. He's going to fight the best guy available. It's
great to hear from you that eventually these things are hoping that in the future probably we can see accomplished. I know we had a great fight from Gervonta Davis versus Isacc Cruz. Is it possible in the future that we might see a rematch, or because people love it? I mean, I know Gervonta took the win and everything, but people love it on this match.
I think so. Look, Isacc is a much bigger star than he was before that fight. He surprised a lot of people. The people who knew the kind of fighter he was were not surprised. I was not surprised that he gave Tank that much difficulty. That was. I always said it's a much tougher fight than people think. So, look, I don't think either guy was particularly happy. Anytime Gervonta, has a fight go the distance, he's not happy. He wants to end it early. I know Isacc, thought that he did enough at least to get a draw, maybe win. But even he says he made some mistakes in the fight. So, I think both guys could very well be open to doing a rematch because neither one of them felt like they were at their best that night. So, a couple wins, I think it's very possible. It did a great game, great crowd there in LA, and I think anybody who saw the first fight would like to see it again.
Well, it would be great if we could bring probably this fight over here at the Barclays Center, eh?
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the other thing Tank's been doing is sort of bouncing around. Atlanta, LA, Baltimore, trying to sort of spread the excitement of boxing and build his fan base, not just the cities where there always is, but opening up new markets as well.
That's great. Jumping in another topic very quickly, what do you think about women's boxing that it's right now? What level do you give it to them?
Look, I think they're definitely on the right track. I mean, I think you've got multiple outlets supporting it. There's a I'm glad Amanda Serrano's getting her big fight, one that she's really wanted for a long time. I think that's overdue. I think it's glad that it's headlining at a big event. There's a lot of talent out there, and we work with Clarissa, we work with Katie, we work with Amanda, and we've worked with a lot of women on the MMA side as well. So, there's none on our calendar right now. We're sort of looking to see, the way we pick things is by division. And I know a lot of the women bounce around divisions a lot, but it's sort of like, okay, let's find a division that is really deep on talent, not just 1 or 2 champions, but 6, 8 fighters. And I think we'll jump back in relatively soon into one of these divisions that really has a lot of fights that are possible.
Great. A message that you would like to add to this interview, and of course invite the people that, of course, we love boxing, fans, boxing all around the world, please.
Well, look, I think we've worked really hard on the schedule that we have coming out, from Erickson Lubin and Sebastian Fondora this coming weekend, the Errol Spence card with Isacc Cruz. We've got, Stanionis and Budaev, and Brandon Lee on the undercard. You've got Cody Crowley, you've got Francisco Vargas. Great pay-per-view. And then we go into May, and it's even busier with, we've got the big doubleheader in LA with Charlo Castaño, and Jaron Ennis. Then you've got the Benavidez fight, and then Tank's pay-per-view, and then after that, Stephen Fulton. So I think we put a lot of work into not just having the full schedule of big names against quality opponents, and value all through the card. So it's not just, hey, let's tune in for the main event. We have world championship fights and no opening fights, 3 fights down the card. So we're trying to do meaningful fights all the way down the card and deliver as much value as we can.
Great. I'm glad to speak with you, seeing you again, and fight fans, do not miss this match, Gervonta Davis and R.Romero. Thanks, Mr. Steven. Appreciate for your time.
All right, good to see you.